Hey pinball fans, so here's the installation for the center back lock sign for your Godzilla pinball machine. As you can see, I already have the sign installed. You can just ignore that for this instance and we'll start as if you had your original sign installed. So the first step is to remove the building that's here. There are two screws on the top that you just have to undo. They're pretty easy to access, and then we'll pull the building off, and the sign, your original sign, will be attached to the building with two screws on the side there. And if you look through the back of the playfield, there'll be a connector there that is connecting the three light boards to the game. So you just want to undo that connector, and then the entire assembly will pull out, and then you can unscrew these two screws that will let the sign come off of the building. I believe the original screws in there will have a nut attached to them on the inside, and we're not going to reuse those nuts. The sign that you're going to be replacing with has two captive nut inserts already installed in it, so you won't need to reuse those nuts on the inside. You can take them out and just store them if you ever wanted to replace the sign. And next I'll show you how to transfer over the lighting from the old sign to the new sign. I should mention that the building does not easily come off of the game, so you're just going to slide it forward. Then also these two standoffs here probably will be loose when you take off the building. It seems mine were not tightened down very far because they're holding these two light boards in, so you want to just use your fingers to tighten those back up, and you may need to just move this light board to the side to get the plug out. That is for the sign, so you can just loosen it if it's not loose and pull it to the side. If that's not enough room, just unscrew this all the way, move the light board out of the way, and then pull the plug out. Now, like I said, I already had my sign installed, but if I remember correctly, like I said, there are two screws here and two nuts on the inside holding those screws in. So what you want to do is use a pair of pliers and just slide them in here and hold that nut while you're undoing the screw from the outside. So looking at the original sign here, what you'll have are three screws with little spacers, those little white spacers on them, and three nuts. We're not going to reuse those at all, so again, just use some pliers or a wrench to hold those screws, or hold the nuts, undo the screws, and then take the lighting completely off of the old sign, and you'll have those three individual lighting boards. Of course, you'll want to note which is the top board and keep them in that same orientation. And then you're going to use the three black screws that we've provided to screw into the three posts that have holes in them on the back of the sign. You'll be able to tighten them all the way down snug to hold these boards in place, but of course you can still adjust the boards to be in the right orientation, so they're all sort of even there, and then snug those screws down so they hold the boards in place. And that's the brunt of the installation. You're just going to reverse the process. Like I said, there are two captive nuts here that you'll use to screw the sign back in. Use the original screws that were holding the sign in, but you don't need to bother with putting the nuts on the back of it. Makes it a lot easier. So just take the sign back in, put it into the building, fish the wire through, make sure the two spotlight or the two GI lights that are on the back there are snug with the two standoffs that are holding them in, and then just put the building back in place and snug those front screws on, and you'll be good to go. So like I was saying, just fit the sign in here, slide it over until you see those two nuts showing through those holes there. Put the two screws in that you took out originally. Make sure that once you get the wiring harness through the hole in the backboard, straighten this light back out, snug it down, make sure the other side's snug down, and then you'll just take the building, put it back in place, and put the two screws on the front. That should be everything. Good luck.